Dear brothers and sisters, today we celebrate the feast of Saint Anthony, a remarkable saint known for his extraordinary compassion and service to the poor. As we reflect on his life and the readings of today, we are reminded of the transformative power of faith and love. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 7 to 15, St. Paul writes about the paradox of being a vessel of God's glory. He says, "We have this treasure in clay jars, so that it may be made clear that this extraordinary power belongs to God and does not come from us." This passage resonates with St. Anthony's life, who, despite his own limitations, became a vessel of God's love and compassion for the poor and the needy. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 27 to 32, Jesus teaches about the importance of purity of heart and the sanctity of marriage. This passage reminds us that true devotion to God is not just about external actions, but about the intentions of our hearts. St. Anthony's life exemplified this teaching as he dedicated himself to serving the poor and marginalized with a pure heart. St. Anthony's life is a testament to the power of faith and love. Born into a wealthy family, he chose to renounce his privileges and dedicate himself to serving the poor. His compassion and kindness knew no bounds, and he spent his life caring for the sick, the orphan, and the marginalized. St. Anthony's devotion to the poor was not just a charitable act, but a reflection of his deep love for God and for his desire to serve him in the most vulnerable members of society. As we reflect on St. Anthony's life, we are reminded that we too can be vessels of God's love and compassion. We can ask ourselves, how can we serve the poor and marginalized in our own lives? How can we show kindness and compassion to those around us? One way we can do this is by sharing what we have with those in need. Generosity is not just about giving away our excess, but about sharing from our abundance. St. Anthony's life teaches us that even small acts of kindness can have a profound impact on others. We can start by sharing our time, our talents, and our resources with those around us. We must have some practical ways to be generous. Share a meal with someone in need. Donate to a charity that supports the poor and marginalized. Volunteer your time at a local soup kitchen or shelter. Offer a listening ear to someone who is lonely or struggling. Share your skills or expertise with someone who could benefit from them. A young boy once approached St. Anthony with a small loaf of bread, asking for his blessing. St. Anthony took the bread, broke it in half, and gave one half back to the boy, keeping the other half for himself. When asked why he did this, St. Anthony replied, "I have given you half of my bread, but more importantly, you have given me half of your hunger." This story illustrates St. Anthony's profound understanding of the value of sharing and caring for others. as we celebrate the feast of Saint Anthony. Let us reflect on his life of service and compassion. May we be inspired by his example and strive to become vessels of God's love and mercy in our world. May we show kindness and compassion to those around us, and may our actions be a reflection of our deep love for God. Let us remember that we have treasure in clay jars, and that it is God's power, not our own, that transforms us and enables us to serve others. May we be generous towards the needy by sharing from what we have, and may our acts of kindness bring joy and hope to those around us. Amen.